So I'm very excited to be here. My name is Juan Ramirez. As Ron said, I'm a senior solutions architect with Outsystems. I'm in Tampa, Florida, but I've been a developer for a good part of my career, right? And I work a lot of manufacturing. And during those years, I worked with many traditional languages like COBOL, C Sharp, assembly, and a lot of things, right? And I also work with some of the first iterations of rapid development tools, and many tools around those first iterations to what we call now low-code application development platforms. It's no longer a tool; it's platform that you can use and leverage. In manufacturing, it gives a great competitive advantage when you can build custom software that gives you that edge. And I'm going to start with a quote from this person. Is an Israeli business management guru. It's Eliyahu Moshe Goldratt. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name, but it says that if you don't manufacture a quality product, all you got at the end is a bunch of expensive mistakes. And you think about this in a moment like today, where having a quality product is more important than ever in this age of instant gratification, right? Customers are demanding better products with higher quality and faster, right? And sometimes the only way that you can gain a competitive advantage is by leveraging technology, right? Specifically software, right? So I took a look at some studies from Gartner and Deloitte, and I wouldn't be a consultant if I wouldn't use those studies. But these are studies where they interview more than 100 manufacturing industry executives, and interestingly enough, they found out some of the trends where they're very interested in. Cybersecurity is one of them. Everybody wants to be secure. Nobody wants to be hacked, right? Their intellectual property must be secure. So that's one factor, one great factor. The other interesting finding was that they're also have invested a lot in IIoT and some technology, and they expect to gain some returns on those. And talent is a key trend, right? How do we attract new workers? How do we keep the ones we have, right? It's more important now than ever, right? Seems to be a shortage of workers, right? And disruptions, right? And if I look at disruptions, disruption comes in many ways. And we have just experienced that with a global pandemic, right? Where organizations that were not prepared had issues, problems. They even folded and no longer exist. So organizations armed with digital forces and technology are disrupting all these business models with new value propositions, right? This is causing a lot of problems and a lot of challenges for organizations that have a lot of legacy systems, a lot of technical debt that they cannot adapt to market trends and how the organization changes. So this is a very great challenge, but also in every challenge, I see an opportunity, right? And there's also a great opportunity for them to now and embrace technology to gain that competitive advantage. Now, in another report from Gartner, they were looking at strategic technology trends in manufacturing, and they found out that organizations are investing a lot in technologies like artificial intelligence, the IIoT industry, Internet of Things, data and analytics to drive growth and profitability. But the concept of what we call the smart factory has emerged, right? Where it's not one technology, it's a combination of technologies that allows you capitalize on new opportunities. And all these technologies have one thing in common. They all need to have some common UI, some common application where you can provide that information to the user to make better decisions. Now, on Outsystems, we have many manufacturing customers, and we see some trends and some obstacles that they must overcome. And I talked a little bit about those earlier, right? But hyper-personalization, this is what we call, or what we say, how do we differentiate from our competitors, right? How do we differentiate our product, our service, and retain our customers? If you look at, and maybe not a manufacturing example, but if you look at, online ordering, right? A lot of companies have that, right? But if you think at all the online big vendors, right, there's one that stands out a lot, Amazon. And the only reason that Amazon has differentiated itself from the competition, it's software. It's having no friction where you're buying something, when you're returning something, and when you need support. And that's a great differentiator, right? So how do you differentiate from customers? Workforce shortage, right? How do we attract and retain talent? Supply chain stability, right? Now we see, you go stores and you go to supermarket and you see, well, there's products that are not available, excuses because there's some supply chain problems that we can get those products in, right? And how to embrace digital capabilities for smart factory. Now, the real transformation trend that I see is that the most innovative companies and organizations in the world, in manufacturing especially, are investing a lot in custom software to gain that competitive advantages. And this is what we call the applications that make a difference. These are the applications that are going to break, you from the pack. These are applications that are going to differentiate you from everybody else. And if you look at this range of use cases where or trends that we see, you already may have some software in place, some ERP, some systems that you need to take the best of it, but you're not going to differentiate with everybody else by using SAP, or I don't want to bring anybody, or any canned product, right? They all have the same capabilities. What you need to do is extend that layer with Outsystems, where you can now join all these processes together, join all these technologies with a great UI that allows your users to consume that data, right? Why do I need to go to 10 systems to get the information that I need? Why do I need to use all legacy, screens and UIs that makes life harder when I'm used to using, great consumer-based applications that makes life easier, right? That's the same things that your customers are demanding now from you, right? Great UI looking applications, great applications that provide me the information when I need it and how I need it. Now, custom software requires innovation and speed. And doing things the same way, you're not going to get there, right? Using high code, what we call high code, using traditional technologies where to do one thing, you need some software or some app, and to do something of the application lifecycle, you need another tool, and now you need to integrate everything together, right? It's very hard to do so, but very hard to do so and provide that speed, right? So I saw the other day an article where, or a movie I was looking, that there's a triangle and they have quality, speed, and I can't remember the last one, but you only can have two, right? Either you have a quality and speed, or quality and you cannot have all three, right? So this is where low code comes in. This is the key enabler of increasing speed and agility, and it's forecasted by Gartner to, for more than 70% of the app development by 2025. This is amazing, right? So if you think about all the code that is, created in the world, low code is going to be responsible for 70% of that. And now we also see customers that adopt Outsystems have seen a 5-time acceleration in their ability to bring new capabilities to market. Think about it. You have a product, you need to build some custom software for it, and using traditional technologies, it's going to take you 2 years, a year and a half, right? By that time, the market may have changed, right? By that time, things can go wrong, right? So if you can shorten that time to value, that's a great, value proposition. Now, OutSystems is a leader in this space. We've been doing this since the early 2000s. We coined the term low code on our platform allows you to build applications that you can buy off the shelf, but those applications that must continually change and adapt as the market changes, as the organization changes. And those applications that are critical to the organization. Now, I'm going to talk quickly about two use cases that we have in manufacturing. Mazda is the first one. I mean, they're a global automaker. I think last year they have about $27 billion in revenue. But Mazda had a problem with aging technology. They couldn't change those apps quickly enough. They have over 500 legacy applications that needed to be migrated to a new technology stack. And they needed that yesterday. And that's the thing. Everybody needs something yesterday, not in 2 days, in 3 days, in a week, right? They needed to move this quickly. So using Outsystems, Mazda was able to quickly migrate the most critical legacy applications 4 times quicker than what they were gonna do those with traditional technology. And they save about 75% of the migration cost compared with those traditional technologies. Now, in a nutshell, right, Mazda saved millions of dollars in migration costs. They have 500 applications. They haven't done all of them. They probably have about 200 or 250. Some of those applications are going to be, incorporated into others. Some are going to be shelved out because they don't need those, right? But they have accelerated and gotten a great return of their investment in the development speed, lower training costs, and a great benefit that they found out is that the users are loving those great apps that they're producing. Employee satisfaction has gone up. Now, no longer they're using all green screen technologies, things that are like Windows 3.1. We're in the future now. We need to have great engaging UI, and they're great doing that with Outsystems. Now, this one for me, I'm a snowboarder. I'm a windsurfer. I love Burton. This is one of my favorite use cases because it hits me, because I love their products. And if you don't know, right, Burton, it's a private company. They were founded in the 1970s. And Jake Burton, the founder of this company, is considered the father of snowboarding, right? And the company right now generates about $130 million in revenue, which is not bad for a guy who was a surfer who moved to the Northeast. And he had this idea that I want to surf the mountains, right? These are the biggest waves that we can get. So he started with this idea, right? But they had a big problem. They were having a lot of the same way that they started building these products, and they were not very experienced at this. They grow very quickly. So they were having problems with logistics, inventory, supply chains, right? Now, Burton was able to look at their problems, and we helped them build an omni-channel logistics and inventory management application. It has mobile capabilities, it has web-based capabilities for their backend. But with this application, they were able to kind of shift the way they manage goods through their sales channels, right? So a lot of times they found out that customers were only buying snowboarding equipment, during the season, and they were getting stuck with all goods, at the end of the year that they needed to buy or sold at a discount, right? So they were able to shift their mindset, build an application with mobile capabilities that allow their sales staff to look at daily shipments, go to their warehouse and move products. And the application was developed with 2 developers in a third of the time that it was going to take a full team of developers using HyperCode. Now, so Outsystems, I've been talking about this. So what it is, right? It's the modern application development platform that allows your organization to build applications fast. And I mentioned up to 5 times faster, maybe more, maybe less, depending on your process, to build applications right. When I mean right, I mean with the right architecture that are secure and high performant. And also build applications for the future. And what that means is that you're not going to be building technical debt, right? A lot of times we build these applications that go old quickly, and that technology that they're built on fades away, right? Outsystems is built on a platform that allows you to grow. And you may build these applications and the technology underlying where those applications execute change, but your applications are going to be continue to work, right? This is a great value proposition. So what it is, right? And we're a platform. And what that platform allows you to do is to build and change full stack applications in a visual environment where your developers are going to be able to create pixel perfect user interfaces and experiences, build your business logic, like workflow diagrams, your workflow processes, and all the data modeling in an AI-powered, artificial intelligence powered, easy to learn, drag and drop visual development interface. And that's a lot of things, right? The idea is that your developers are going to be using visual tools and abstractions of complexity to develop faster, right? We're going to be empowering your developers to produce more code, and now will allow you to extend beyond, extend your reach beyond IT. And think about it, right? And I think sometimes think about, analogy with, Iron Man, right? If you know the Marvel movies, you have Tony Stark, brilliant scientist, great person, right? When he puts that suit on, he becomes Iron Man. All of his knowledge is empowered by this machine that he has around it. So that's the same thing we're doing. We're empowering our developers with technology, with automation and abstraction to do the work quicker, to stop doing all the mundane things that you typically do and concentrate on the things that add value. Now, when I talk about visual development, there's some hesitation sometimes, from high technical developers and architects saying that, will I hit a wall? I mean, what if I need to build something customized, right? But in Outsystems, you can extend, right? Most companies have a variety of systems that you need to connect, like SAP, Oracle, and others. And you can integrate your systems via APIs, and we have other integrations with databases. But you can bring your own code as well, right? If you have JavaScript libraries or CSS or .NET libraries, we can reuse that as well. So we're extensible. We're not going to hit a limit either because it's visual. We can extend Outsystems to work with anything, right? Any integration or any product. Now, we also have pre-built components, right? You don't have to recreate the wheel. We have over 4,500 connectors and applications and libraries that you can reuse to accelerate your development. Now, it's not only about development. What about if you can build fast, but you cannot deploy fast? What's the problem with that, right? Is that you're not delivering, right? So it's more than just development. Most of the time in a project is on deployment, maintenance, and support. So Outsystems has out-of-the-box features for DevOps, where you can, have risk-free deployments. You can also integrate with your CI/CD pipeline using Jenkins. You can monitor your apps. We provide dashboard for governance, allowing you to make sure that your applications that you're building are secure, performance, has the best architecture. All of this while being able to create modern technology, right? Develop web and mobile applications, even that have offline capability, working with chatbots and voice integration assistants like Siri and Alexa. So if you're thinking about building applications, not just thinking about just building something that it's engaging across multiple channels, and this is the latest technology, text messaging, Alexa, Siri. Imagine having an application that you can talk to it and interact with it. If you're driving, you have somebody on a field using a mobile app or in a warehouse to give suggestions, and you can talk to it, right? If you have your hands tied, you can say, Alexa, give me the latest document manuals for this particular piece of equipment. Right? Having that interaction is great. And after all, Outsystems is the leader in that the local quadrant, right? And we help you create great interactive experiences to your users. So this is very important, right? Experiences, reaching out across many touch points, providing the widest range of digital experiences, mobile, web, etc. And for architects, it's very important that this platform is scalable, it's secure, is high performant, and provide different options for deployment, right? Either on your cloud or our cloud, Outsystems cloud, or the cloud of your choice, right? And we have many certifications. This is very important, right? Compliance. We certify with ISO and we have many certifications to make sure that our platform it's secure, right? That your data that your applications are consuming is going to be secure as well. And what's our difference? Well, it's your apps, it's your IP. Whatever you build in our systems is yours, right? It's enterprise scale. Small applications to applications that scale to millions of users, we're going to be able to support it. When we say no vendor lock-in, is that if for any reason you decide not to continue a relationship with Outsystems, everything that you have built, you can take and run it in your own infrastructure, right? You're not going to be able, there's nothing interpreted in the way. The applications that you develop are fully standard-based applications that you can take and run in your infrastructure. Pixel perfect UI. There's no other tool in the market that allows you to create great engaging experiences. Pixel perfect. When we say pixel perfect, is that the UI looks great and has great responsiveness no matter what device you're using it on. Even if it's a big 30-inch monitor on your web, in your house, or if it's a small tablet that you're carrying with you. Highly extensible. We're not going to hit any walls. And the last one, but not the least, is the agility, right? Once you build an application, it's not static. It's a living and breathing organism that must change with the organization. And the ability to change quickly is something that systems cannot be compared with anything else. We provide instant feedback to your users that can be relayed automatically to the developers for them to work on your application. So agility, it's very important in this particular, in these particular times. And I don't know if there's any questions. That's all I had for today.